Know what would go great right here? Your ad, your business, your services. Or maybe just your rant about how roundabouts are crop circles by redneck aliens. Whatever you need to say, we'll help you say it. Contact noonandtimewithharold@gmail.com for more information.
It's a new day, Noonan! Yes, it is, and I'm the bearer of bad news, the man who has all the plans. I am the guy with two eyes. I am Daddy Stash, throwing a great big bash. You know, I feel like I do the same rhymes all the time now. Maybe I should get rid of the rhyme part where I say my name and I say rhymes, because A, I'm not good at thinking of them. B, it ain't funny. 3, it's not endearing. Qua, I don't know. I'm assuming that in some language 4 is qua. But I don't know, and I'm not about to Google every language's counting to number 4. Because that seems like a lot of freaking work, baby, and I ain't about to do that. It's a Noonan Nugget, and today we are talking about Valentine's Day. I realize I've been MIA a bit, you know? Not on socials. Still there. Still doing all my Facebook and my Instagram and I'm pretty active in the Come On Facebook group, which is the Chatty Men of Noonan. We have a cute little community of fellas, and we have a good time chatting. Every now and then there's some really annoying arguing about political stuff. But you know what? I'd rather people argue about what they're passionate about than forget that they're passionate at all. I love it when we love and we stick up for our beliefs. As long as we show kindness, there's a place that we can meet, and that's in Come On. That's in Come On. If you're a lady, you're not invited to Come On. Because the ladies got Chatty Noonan women. We have Chatty Men of Noonan. I'm acting like I'm love the group. I forget it exists constantly. I have a lot of other things going on in life. But I've been missing, and I understand that, and I apologize. You see, I've been not feeling like myself lately. And I know you hear that and you go, but Harold, you dumb bitch. Which, of course, is really rude, and you shouldn't say that. It's not wrong for me to say it. I'm just quoting you. But you say, Harold, you dumb fool, you're always not feeling well. There's always something wrong with you, mentally or physically. You're just a broken boy. And to that I say nay, I say nah, I say qua. I might name this episode Qua. I don't know how I would spell it. Like Q-A-U-A, Qua. Which would probably actually be pronounced K. I don't know. I'm making up a language. There's a language in my head where this exists. Y'all smell that? Are y'all smelling what I'm smelling right now? I'm cooking a corned beef. It's on the oven right now, and I'm so excited about eating it. There is no meat better than a corned beef. And St. Patty's Day is coming up, so really I should be saving it till St. Patrick's Day, but I'm not. I'm cooking it now, and I'm ready to eat it, and I'm so excited. But it's making some noises over there, and it's smelling so good. So if you can smell my corned beef, I hope you appreciate it. Hope you appreciate what I do for you. What I do for you is corned beef. What was I talking about before I got distracted about the corned beef? That's right, I'm not feeling too well. I'm on some new medicines for my mental health. They taketh me off. They taketh me off a few of my mood stabilizers, and they're putting me on a antidepressant. I haven't been on antidepressant in like a year and a half, because anytime they try them, I get a lot of really bad side effects. And I say, quoth, I shall not want this, for I shall not want it, is what that means. Quoth. Wait, was it quoth? Qua? I think it's qua. Qua is the word. Yeah, I'm forgetting my alphabet. My numbers. Oh man, I'm all over the place today. It's a good thing I'm endearing and a damn fool. Anyways, and I've never been on this. I'm on Prozac, okay? That's the medicine I'm on right now. And I've never been on Prozac. And I'll tell you what, I just don't feel good. I feel like I'm always want to be asleep. Like I could stay in bed all day right now. And I'm not sad. I'm not staying in bed because I'm depressed. I'm staying in bed because I just don't have any energy. And it's like I wake up and the first thing I do is take a Benadryl. And then the thing I do around 6 o'clock is take a Benadryl. And I'm just on all these Benadryls right now, but I'm not on any Benadryl. So I think it's less that I'm on Prozac, and it's more that I'm coming off of medicines. Because there's like 3 medicines that I'm weaning off of right now. And we're at the point that I think I'm completely off of them. I think, no, that's not true. There's one that I have to take every other day. But the rest of them, the ones that I've been taken off of, I think I'm having some sort of relapse isn't the word, but like a reaction to not having it anymore. And it's making me feel icky. And I feel icky. So I've spent a lot of time in bed, and I've spent a lot of time starting to do a chore, then laying back down. Like, that's how I'm spending a lot of my time right now. So your boy Harold's not feeling well. But I'm going to get there. I know that coming off of these medicines, and whatever the word is for coming off of a medicine, it's not relapse. It's something with a re, isn't it? What do you call it? I don't know. I'm so stupid right now. I have no idea what the word is, but a word for when you're coming off of medicines. That's what is happening. And that combined with starting a new medicine, I'm very open about mental health stuff. I'm very open about medicines. I think more people need to talk about it. I think more men need to talk about it. Our suicide rates are 4 times higher than women. I just read it yesterday. And a lot of that is because we trying to be tough and not seek help and not communicate with our other friends. And I think society is getting better about it, but man, it's scary. It's scary anytime someone is feeling suicidal or depressed. I don't like any of it. But yesterday, I recorded an entire podcast episode, and then I played it in the car, because that's what I do. I usually record the episode, I post it, and then I listen back to it, which really what I should do is listen back to it before posting it. Because for the first time ever, I posted a podcast episode, listened to it in the car, and said, oh geez, this isn't good. I'm going to delete this. It was weird. And the weird thing about it is what we talked about. What I talked about is, and I'll pull up the list and we'll talk about it a little bit today. We won't get nearly as deep into it as I tried to get yesterday. What I talked about was the 10 hardest things about being a man, or as it says, being a guy. And the list that I used came from askmen.com. And as I was talking about all this stuff on there, I both was running into the issue of, okay, what is a gender norm versus a misconception? What is fair for them to complain about? What is not? And then I had to stop myself because I was like, I keep talking about like erections and sex and like really personal stuff. And I'm okay being personal on my podcast. I do it all the time. But I started getting weirded out, me talking about myself, like getting bonies and like my current sex life. And listening back to it, I was like, this is stuff I don't want to talk about on the internet. I finally found stuff that I'm like, you know what? I'm going to keep this stuff personal. Obviously I get Bon Jovis and obviously I make Sweet Sweet Love, but you guys both don't need to hear me talk about it in detail, and you don't want to hear me talk about it in detail. I promise you, you don't. But even though I'm not going to get into my thoughts and my personal experience with all of it, I do want to read you the list. Now, even though it says top 10 things, there are more than 10. Like it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then it repeats 7, 8. So that would mean it goes all the way to 12. So there's more things than there should be on this list. And some of them are kind of the same, but I'm going to read these to you. This is from askmen.com, which is a resource for men, probably, as you would imagine. But we'll start at the bottom and we'll work our way up. And just to let you guys know, this is what other people said. This is not what I am saying are the hardest things about being a man. Some of them I agree with, and I'm like, yeah, that is really hard. But Yeah, let's get into it. Number 12, being made to feel like you have to earn sex rather than just mutually enjoy it with your partner. Number 11, being told not to cry. Now, that's one that I did talk about, and it wasn't really personal and gross, but I talk about how my dad, when we were kids, did not do that. He did not ever bully us for crying and showing emotions. He did the opposite. He was great when it came to that. But everywhere else, I did hear it. Like all my friends say, don't cry. Crying's for girls. Crying's for babies, which is really what you hear more of. Like everyone gets made fun of for crying. It's not just men. Maybe men get it a little bit more, but what you really hear is crying is for babies. Don't be a baby. You really don't hear you're being a girl. Maybe some really douchebag fella will tell you you're acting like a girl. But for the most part, what we say is crying's for babies. Don't cry. That's being a baby. Or don't be a little bitch. That's another thing people say when someone's crying. So even though I didn't hear it from my father being told not to cry, I heard it from other people's fathers, from my brothers, from my friends, from other members of my family that weren't my father. So growing up for me, it was tough. I definitely showed more emotions. I was a very sensitive kid. I'm a very sensitive adult. I've always been really sensitive. And some of it probably comes from that. So I was definitely shown, be sensitive, show that side of you from my father. But when I would do it, most of the rest of the world would make fun of me for it, which is not going to be specific to me. I'm sure a lot of you guys have had that happen and are still dealing with the consequences to this day. Because guess what? It's okay to cry. LA Knight said so on Monday Night Raw. Oh no, it was SmackDown. On SmackDown, he said, it's okay to cry, man. You can cry. And you can cry. Find a man to cry with. Hold a man in your arms. His beard nuzzled under your eyeballs so the tears are getting dried up by his beard as you cry. Just hold him. And smell him. Smell his bald head and his big beard and his big old mustache. And just cry. Cry all over his face and his chest. Then slowly make your way down. Okay. Being told to suck it up or be a man. That kind of falls into being told not to cry. But I guess this one's more specific to like when you get hurt, you're told to suck it up, be a man, which is, I was not super athletic as a child. I played a lot of basketball and I liked professional wrestling. So, but when I got hurt, I was babied about it. So I haven't personally experienced the being told to suck it up, be a man. I'm sure I heard it a lot, but it's not something I felt as a pressure. These days, I put that pressure on me. Like, yeah. If I get hurt or if I'm in a lot of pain, but I don't say be a man. I just say suck it up. Because the strongest people I know that have gone through physical pain are ladies. They are tough. Although granted, maybe the guys are going through more physical pain. They're just not telling me. 9, the expectations of masculinity. Number 8, scrotums. Number 7, your own body betraying you with awkward boners. Number 8 again, because this list it's weird. It does, like I said, 7 and 8 twice. Asking for help can feel shameful. I think that's one that everyone feels. You're supposed to be able to solve your own issues, and asking for help is tough. I love asking for help. It helps me do a good job. This is number 7, the second number 7, one we talked about earlier. High rates of suicide due to mental health issues, which I think ties into everything else. 6, the expectation to be the breadwinner. Now, this is not something I have ever experienced. I have, in every relationship I've ever been in, I've made the least amount of money. And I accepted that. Like, it sometimes bothers me. It especially bothers me when my kid wants stuff and I can't be like, yeah, I can do that for you. I've always had to rely on somebody else to do like the really nice stuff for me or for other people that I care about. Like, I've never been in a great financial place. I don't have a college education. I'm kind of like we said earlier, a damn fool, a little bitch. I'm just kidding. I love me. Keep on going. 5, the pressure to fight. This means physical fights. Stand your ground. Don't be disrespected. Punch people. Get in those fights. And man, that is a good one because I used to get in fights all the time. So when I said I wasn't very athletic, I did not mean not fighting. I fought a lot. I got in fist fights a lot. I fought with my brothers a lot. I fought with friends a lot. I had a guy that I used to go to church with that we would just beat each other any chance we could. We would get into fights. We'd have glass fights where we'd throw glass at each other. Like fighting, the pressure to fight, that's how you're supposed to do it. And again, my father never made us feel like that's how you boys are supposed to handle their situations. But like my neighbor's father did, and my other neighbor's father did, and my friends did, and my friends' fathers did. And I think spanking, because I was spanked as a child, I think spanking encourages fighting. I don't know how it wouldn't. It's saying if you do something wrong, physical pain is the punishment. So then you get it in your head, if somebody else does something wrong, physical pain is the punishment. Like, people all the time say, I was spanked as a child and I turned out fine. And the people who say that are usually the worst, most obnoxious people, because I was spanked as a child and I did not turn out fine. And I'm very, very aware of that. Number 4, the desire to be around kids makes some people suspicious. Now, this is one I've always been annoyed by because I love kids. I have so much fun with kids. And I would like to, I've applied to work in daycare and children's ministry at church and stuff like that. And it's always a weird vibe. And you're always, I've always felt unwanted doing it. Now, with that said, I think the reason people are suspicious about it makes sense. It's men's fault that they are horrible to children. So I totally get it. I don't think there's anything, I don't expect anybody to change for me. So I feel more comfortable around them being around kids. But I do get that one. That one can be frustrating. 3, making the first move. 2, being expected to turn on like a switch in bed. And 1, being a single father. So that is your list from men.com about the hardest things about being a man. Now, I didn't just look at that from askmen.com. I also looked at, there's a website called The Top 10s, and it basically creates a list of, there's a top 10 for everything. And one of the things they have is the top 10 hardest things about being a guy is what is the name of this post. And people got to vote on it, and then it ranked them. So I'm going to read you these as well. Again, I'm not going to get super into it because it makes me feel weird. Number 10. Being made fun of for being abused by a girl. I've had that happen before where I get hit by a girl. I had a girl that used to beat me up, and I never hit her back. Good person. I pushed her once, and I felt bad about it. Number 9, being eligible for the draft. When has that ever made a difference? Yeah, come on. No one's getting drafted. Number 8, finding it harder to make friends. Never worried about that one. I love making friends. Number 7, struggling more with breakups. Science has found that men's health problems often increase after breakups, and they tend to feel more down than women. Guys also get less support after breakups. Added to the fact that we get less support, it means a pretty rough time for us. I don't know about that one being true, but maybe. I don't know if it says science. Science says so. So I guess I'm going to believe science. What does science not know? Science knows everything. So hell yeah, I get extra sympathy if I ever get broken up with. Yeah, I really hope I don't get broken up with. I'm very happy where I currently am. I hope I didn't just wish into existence. Oh no, I may be broken up with by the time you hear this. Number 6, experiencing unwanted erections and ejaculations. Number 5, being more likely to be falsely accused of rape. Well, also being more likely to rape. So that's, yes. Yes, that is true. Missing some context. 4, being less supported by others and more on their own. Yep. 3, facing pressure not to be emotional. 2, being more susceptible to genetic diseases. And number 1, hardest thing about being a guy is having to lead in relationships. So both these lists are full of things that I think are silly to be on there. And they also have some things that I'm like, yeah, I can personally relate to it. Because that's all I can do when I'm listening to this and I'm reading these and I'm talking about it, is tell you if I can relate or not. And I tried to do it this time without it being really weird, because last episode was 45 minutes of me talking about this stuff in depth. And I didn't like it, and you wouldn't have liked it either. It is not great. Anyways, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope you have some things that you enjoy about being yourself. If there are things you hate about being your gender, tell me about it. Oh, you want to get on the podcast? We're going to start having guests. We're going to go back to our old format where we have a lot of interviews, a lot of citizens of the week, and I'm going to talk to more of the people, more of the locals, with my same hilarious charm, but we're going to get to know some people. You want to be getting to known? You want to be known? You want me to know you? Well, let me know, and we'll get you on the podcast. Until next time. Do I have a sign-off? I don't think I do. Until next time, when life hands you limes, make limonade. I got.